Hey y'all, it's Tris wishing you another day of bliss, hopefully in the midst of this ever-going apocalypse. And actually, instead of calling it a Tris to Fate, welcome to the renaming of the channel, Holybalognajabronies. Yes, I know the baloney in Holybalognajabronies is misspelled, but I like that misspelling. It's an old handle, and I wanted to pay homage to it after the roommate kept harassing me about the name of my channel. But I wanted to watch this with y'all. This is take two because there was not enough space on my phone to keep recording this. And yes, I recorded this on my phone. That's why the quality is what it is. If you want help support the channel so that the quality can be greater than what it is, the Cash App is down below. Help support. And speaking of support, like, share, subscribe, leave comments if you like the content. But last night I first saw that when I was watching H3 with my roommate, H3H3 with Ethan Klein and the rest of the family, I actually peeped that they were talking about Kyle Kulinski, one of the co-founders of Justice Democrats, out of which you got squad members like Ilhan Omar and AOC. He actually interviewed Jordan Peterson, a sophist and psychologist that is very much pivoting into his transphobic, homophobic villain arc. And especially after he was banned on Twitter for his transphobic comments about Elliot Page and their gender-affirming surgery and the doctor who performed it. And I wanted to watch some of this and then watch a little bit of the actual interview. Hopefully I won't talk too long through all the shit because there's limited space on my phones. But let's go into it.
So anyway, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. By the way, is there a new Jordan Peterson video we should be watching? Because you know I love that man.
Let me fast forward a little bit into the actual interview. Save on time.
So dark and brooding now. It's like
he looks like a titan now. As red as he is, looks like he's on the Alex Jones diet.
Yeah, right. The final transformation
with the green matching.
It's a new Batman villain, the Lobster. He's best friends with the Penguin. All right, it's 5 minutes. Let's see if there's anything good here.
Question is the physician really criminal if you agree that adults can decide to train?
He's asked, so you guys know, Jordan said that Elliot Page's physician is a criminal.
One, I hope this debate isn't just ooh. I hope it's actually challenging his transphobia and actually calling it out, and not just ooh, let me reason with you, maybe I can convince you otherwise. I hope it's actually recognizing that he's deep in his shit and more so exposing the flaws of his logic. Because to me, to call like, oh, wasn't pride a sin and everything like that and all that shit, is like, nigga, this is not supposed to be a democratic country or ruled by the fucking Bible. One. Two, it's very contradictory for all these people to be talking so much about pride in America and as being the land of the free, and yet anybody expresses anything that they don't like or want to validate or respect, that's a crime. That's what they want to criminalize. It's very much America being a nation founded on slavery and like white supremacy, and wanting to hold on to all of those white supremacist values and never wanting to deviate any more than it has to. But let's let them talk.
Or doing a gender-affirming procedure on an adult, 35 years old.
That was the crime.
Yeah, let's see what he says about that.
Transition. Then why would the physician be criminal? Don't adults have that right if they want to transition?
Look at him trying to think of some bullshit.
One,
yeah, he's trying to think of how do I frame my bullshit.
I mean, this is
like you calling it a crime, and not even just saying you think it's morally wrong, or you don't agree with it, or you don't like that shit. That shit weird to you, And mind you, he's a whole psychologist. So that means if this is the type of views he has, if you're queer, stay far away from him. I mean, everyone should stay far away from him. But especially if you're queer, he's going to give you some traumatizing, some fucking mind-numbing, mind-altering, gaslighting ass fucking shit that might make you want to self-abort in this bitch. But
yeah, drummer. This is like a civil rights issue, and they don't realize how fucking wrong they are.
Don't realize? No, they realize they. Let's not give white Americans credit of just being dumb. What they don't realize is the impact this will have on their rights as well. Like, again, said, and sorry to stop so much, because when this video cuts, this is the second time I'm recording this, and I still gotta go out and go buy some things, and I still gotta come back and practice a song that my mom suddenly wants me to sing tonight on a church prayer line. People need the Lord, by the way. So this, whatever this ends, if I don't get to, whenever it ends, and it's just on some Sopranos season finale shit, spoilers, it's just gonna end. But I can't with this. They're ignorant in that they don't realize that they're violating their own rights, like with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and fucking to get rid of abortion rights, we got rid of our rights to privacy. We're already living in a police state. We're already living with all kinds of surveillance. Conservatives already complain about all the power that big tech has. And they fear the deep state. And yet, kill your privacy rights just to stop women from being able to have access to abortion. Okay. That's what they don't realize. But they realize the fucking bigotry that they're doing. They realize the shit that they don't like and they don't think is normal and that they find weird. And they're not ignorant to the hypocrisy of that. To them, it's just, this is the right way and y'all are just wrong. When the whole time, what are you judging by right or wrong? By your Bible? God's whole thing is about giving people the free will of choice to choose his ways or not. And even then, I look at the Bible as the way it's been preached and pushed through the world as a theology of oppression. And I think that Jesus reflects that the entire point of the Bible is supposed to be, it's a theology of the oppressed. That the entire history of the children of God and the people of God is that they've gone through oppression so many times that they understand what it is to be under the yoke of bondage, and that sin is a similar yoke upon our lives and minds and characters. And if you really want to free people from all these type of terrible things that have come out of our own personal greed, we should be working in a more socialistic, collective type of way to help the needs of each other like good Samaritans, instead of oppressing each other like the children of Israel were under Babylon, under Egypt, under Persia, under Rome, under all these oppressive governments. And yet, America continues to be an oppressive government while claiming to be that city on the hill for God. And I know I'm saying a lot, and we haven't even gotten to the damn interview. So let's get into the damn interview. Because I'd be talking way too much. Hold on.
And on the wrong side of history, it's incredible. You know, this is like from the 50s. So do you think black people should have the same drinking fountain as white folks? And then
Drinking fountain.
You know, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. I mean, it's really that fucked up what they're doing.
Jordan Peterson would probably say some shit like, you know, with the size of the Negroid lips, the lips of the coloreds, you know, their lips take up more surface area and have a greater risk of touching the water fountain. And so maybe they should have separate water fountains because, you know, white people, they work certain jobs, they're not exposed to some of the certain diseases that black people are exposed to. And if those big black lips were to touch the water fountain, then maybe, who knows, the germs that could be spread between the races. And so maybe there should be a little bit more separation of the races so that people won't be immune compromised by bringing these together. So I could understand under certain contexts why in the past there were some benefits to doing, like, Jordan Peterson's that kind of fucking contrarian ass bigot. Like, just fucking 101 and this is something I said when I first uploaded this, or the first time I recorded this. We gotta stop acting like all these people are super intelligent and geniuses and shit like that. Like, at the end of the fucking day, you can be really smart and learned in a particular subject and area. That doesn't mean you're a fucking genius and everything else. That doesn't mean that just because, even me, even if I'm smart in these certain things I'm telling you, that doesn't mean you can ask me advice on just anything and I can give you a fucking good answer on the shit. I know what I know. Jordan Peterson, that nigga, that's slurring words, making up words, Holybalognajabronies. I'm a writer and I write shit, but words aren't always my forte. Him, civil rights and bigotry, not necessarily Ethan, but fucking Jordan Peterson, American freedoms is not his forte, as much as fucking people want to pretend he's a smart, philosophical dude.
Well, where he goes with it is actually
Right. I mean, this is what we're seeing right here is just like open and
Bigotry?
hostile and violent bigotry. It's incredible.
Not everything legal isn't criminal.
Not everything
Like slavery, bitch. Like, not everything legal isn't criminal. Like slavery, bitch. Like conversion therapy. Like fucking legalized institutional transphobia and restricting rights and access, fucking medical access, just because people don't agree with the existence of a certain marginalized group of people. Yeah, you're right. Not everything that is legally sanctioned and protected is, in fact, not criminal and moral. In fact, a lot, if not all, of America's history is full of shit that we allow to be legal, like black people only being 3/5 of the person, or indigenous children being able to be snatched up and forced into assimilation, or people of color being able to be sterilized without their consent. All that shit. There's a lot of things in the history of America, separate but equal, segregation, with the water fountains, and everything else. There's a bunch of things that were legal and had legal protections around it that were in fact criminal. Banning gay marriage, banning gay sex and intimacy with anti-sodomy laws, all that shit. But let's go back into the fuck shit. Like, that's the thing. He's all Jordan. Fuck Jordan Peterson. All Jordan be doing is just trying to think of the most like slick way. Not even slick. The most catchphrasey way to word his bigotry and his opinions as if like it's intellectual, like he put a lot of thought into it, when all the thought he's putting into it is, how do I make it sound like I'm Plato when I say this fuck shit? And even Plato said some fuck shit about, oh, some races are fucking fit to rule and others are fit to be subjugated. Like, we have a lot of this other fuck shit to owe to him, although let's not forget American history is full of slavery, and it's only when capitalists came around that is like, you know what? It's not enough to just enslave the people that you conquered. Let's enslave entire race of people and breed them niggas continuously for slavery. How about that? But I already can tell. I might not get to the countless of people. That might be a separate video, but let's try and finish this shit out.
legal isn't criminal. For example, one time.
Oh god, what's he about to say? I can't remember.
Well,
I watched most of the segment that he did on this, but I can't remember what he's about to
I had
say.
a prescription to Xanax, okay, just because I abused it. Now, is it criminal for me to go to a drug dealer and get more Xanax because my doctor wasn't prescribing enough? I mean, I had the prescription.
In the favor of drug decriminalization, legalization.
To say is not everything legal is moral.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
That would make more
I
sense.
think everything.
Not everything that's allowed is moral.
Right.
He's saying.
I did not put my dick anywhere near my door.
Listen,
What? Yeah, this
technically you're allowed to.
is my roommate says this is a real fucking soundbite. I haven't heard it for myself, but if he's out here doing Shane Dawson's and putting his dick around his pets, that's even more like, I don't know what kind of philosophies he be on with that, but there's even more reason not to listen to this nigga.
Put your dick on your dog. At what point does it become bestiality? I gently rested it on my dog's butthole. Is that criminal? I don't know. Not necessarily. I didn't penetrate my dog. It just rested there.
And it is the same dude who was talking that shit about. I thought he said it was a dream that he saw his grandmother naked, and then like some weird shit happened between them. Remember he said that no, it was actually a real thing that happened. She has like dementia or Alzheimer's or something, and he just kind of let it happen. And it's just like, sir, it sounds like you need some therapy about that. And if this is real, the way you're trying to talk about it sounds like you haven't unpacked this shit fully in a healthy, productive way. We're not on that. Let me fast forward a tiny bit to get into the actual. Oh my god! Into the actual video. Okay, go back up a little bit to Jordan Peterson O-face. I can't. And let's get back into it.
I did not fuck my dog.
I did fuck my dog. Alright,
I
let's
did not
keep
put my
watching.
dick anywhere near my dog.
I just love making fun. You are such a bigot fucking loser, bro. But you mind your own business, you dumbass. Your life is so...
That's another thing, too. Why does it matter so much to you if there are trans people that exist? Are you worried about, like, your child deciding to become trans, your spouse becoming trans, you realizing you might in fact be trans? Like, what are you so damn worried about? And it's so much just the policing of what people do if it doesn't match what you want the world to look like. It's sick. But again, we are the product of, we're still full of all types of institutional white supremacy and colonization mindsets, and we are the product of that shit. And that shit bears itself out in so many ways that people keep saying, don't bring race into it, don't bring white supremacy and all that shit into it. It's 250 and all these other many years later. It's like, nah, bitch, y'all keep acting these ways. And yes, even black people can still carry that shit because the way we've been institutionalized, whether from here or from surrounding areas that were also impacted by slavery, a lot of us have maintained very conservative mindsets. And I keep saying, a lot of us would actually be deep red Republicans if not for the fact that the Republican Party has such a long and high history of fucking racism. But again, back to the actual video instead of so much of me talking. Although I'm sure I can't be caught for copyright claim as much as I motherfucking talk, do whatever the fuck I'm watching, and as much as I fucking pause this shit and don't let them talk.
You talk about clean your own room, bro. You look like you're on hospice care, bro. And
Yeah, he looks like a fucking type.
I'm just saying, like, just get your
Look
own life
at that
together.
bulb.
Yes.
At least he's preserved some hairline though. White
Please,
people
bro.
and their hairlines, they don't be agreeing with them.
Not everything legal isn't criminal.
I love that
Did they
that's
have
what
that
you came
right?
up with after that
See,
long
I left the other
pause.
page.
Long pause and then just something that
I mean,
totally doesn't
that's what. Okay.
parade.
How many kids do you think she can convince to convert? She's trying to convince kids to convert.
To what? What religion? What religion they converting to? Away from Christendom? Away from our Christian Judeo values? Away from our monotheistic values? What is she to gayness? That's the thing that like really. I'm probably not gonna get saturated. If y'all want, I'll fucking do an actual reaction to the actual video instead of just to the H3's reaction to the video. But that's the thing. That's what it comes down to. They say, oh no, we're no longer homophobic, we're no longer transphobic, and when they say that, they're saying we no longer beat those niggas up, we no longer arrest niggas for that, we accept them as long as they aren't doing gay shit around us or being too flamboyant. But you really do want fucking queer erasure. You act like history isn't full of queer erasure and like shit just popped up in the last 50 years. Like, the shit hasn't always existed, but, multiple civilizations, especially once it got to the point of fucking trying to control the way people act, especially using Christianity and empire as the way to do it, and colonialism as the way to do it. We've been erasing so much of history, so much of blackness, so much of indigenous culture, so much of queerness, so much of the face of what existence looks like, how people are for real. And because we fucking erased that, now we act like, oh, this is some all new brand new shit. And individuals, the celebrity individuals, they're the ones coming with the agenda to change the world. When motherfuckers just want to be able to be free, to fucking date and marry who the fuck they want to be, and express themselves and be who they want to be, and be who they truly are. And that's the thing. Like, anything you come down to of like your personal feelings about trans men, trans women, about gender identity, about sexual diversity, about the alphabet gang, as they like to fucking call them. Why do you care so damn much? Outside of you thinking the more they are free to be them, the more or less people are going to be like you. That's what it is at the end of the day. The fear that you are going to feel alone. But really, the more you try to suppress them, the more you suppress your own fucking rights.
Dude, you're awesome. I'm only concerned about the kids. For example, my daughter, she's very well adjusted. She traveled Europe with Cobra Tate, a known human trafficker.
Let me start on the Andrew Tate
Than
fans.
have her tits cut off.
Fuck you.
Yeah, 1,000?
No, not
Yeah. No,
Really?
I want to respond to that. I think that with the trans community, it's very similar to the gay community, where back when that first became a big issue, people thought, oh, if we talk about it, if it's in magazines or
Yes.
whatever, we're promoting kids to go down that path.
Preach.
But really what happened is people are who they are, and if they're gay, they just decided to be like, yeah.
What?
Yeah. No,
If
you
we
think-
That's what it is. They think that, like, oh, because we didn't kill off all the gay people, essentially, because we didn't scare them deep enough into the closet, we let some of them actually come out and be free and live their lives, and now all the kids are eschewing our traditional family values. They're being gay, they're doing crimes, and they no longer want to have kids. And in fact, them niggas want to have kids, them niggas want to adopt kids. Them niggas are just living freely in ways that go against our capitalist power structures and revealing the flaws of the system. And they don't like that. They need people to conform for our capitalist fucking system of white supremacists, money-grubbing values to fucking continue to make sense to people. They're afraid of people fucking removing their sex organs they clearly don't want to have, and not being able to give them grandkids. They're worried that, like, oh, I'm proud of my son, and now my son's a girl, and now it's the end of my family line. Listen, nigga, climate change is about to clear us off the fucking board. If not for the second coming or whatever apocalypse you believe is inherently in store for us. Like, a lot of people don't want to have children. Like, look at the inflation that we're dealing with. People are already oppressed out here. They don't want to have your goddamn kids and grandkids. Make the world better. Allow people to fucking adopt all these children that are out here already that aren't fucking adoptable past a certain fucking age because people only want fucking babies. And then maybe your arguments about, oh, why abort when you could give it to adoption? Oh, why take out your organs when you can make someone a great grandmother, grandfather? Like, stop trying to control the way people live, especially when it doesn't directly even fucking affect you.
Talked about gay people, there wouldn't exist.
You think you can spread
What
it?
the fuck?
You just
No,
think that
so
you can
when I
spread
called
it,
him out for being
let's
pro
erase it.
conversion therapy, a lot of his loyalists were like, that's not what he meant.
Yeah,
But it is what he meant.
it's 100%.
Yeah.
Yo.
There's no reason to be
where's
for,
that?
like, even back in my most Christian of days and thinking of, like, what is the real answer there of where Christ meets the LGBT. At the end of the day, like, you really think, like, you think if, you know, being gay is a sin, you think you could pray that away. You think, oh, well, your prayers aren't strong enough, so we can torture you with conversion therapy. Get rid of it. So, and again, that type of will beat it out of you. Just like during slavery, they tried to beat out fucking all of disobedience and all of the fucking things we learned and still had from our cultures back from where we were kidnapped. Beat all that shit out of us to beat us into conforming and submission and subordination. You think you can just beat out who people really are out of them? If it really was just a sin, if it really was just something that, like, you can give your heart to God and get rid of, then it'd be as simple as doing that. But even with the kids who were part of the Pray Away movement, they came back and they're still actually gay. Like, I don't believe God wants us to oppress our true natures. I think He wants us to rise up to be the best we can be. And I don't think that has anything to do with whether or not we're straight or gay or trans or cis. I think that has to do with what kind of people we are to each other and what kind of society we're trying to build for each other. And these niggas are so stuck on the way that these shits was translated to us and then fucking repressively enforced on us that they can't see past a couple verses. Like, mind you, the Bible talks all the other type of shit about not eating fucking shrimp and shellfish and pork. Them niggas don't listen to none of that shit. The little couple lines about men not lying with men, women not lying with women. And then also not looking at whatever historical context might have been for that shit. Like, the big thing is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I see I'm not going to be able to finish this video. I'm going to have to finish it here, because I don't know who's at the door. But it's going to eat up time that I do not have. So, I might do more of this if in the comments you say you want me to finish this video or actually finish the other video. But I will see y'all soon, because someone is pressed. Have a great day.